Hello YouTube, Baraki3 here, back with another kicking action figure review. Today's review is over another super articulated Japanese superhero. Actually, I don't know if I've uploaded any of my other reviews of Japanese superheroes. Or super articulated ones, because two got deleted, and I might post this one before my other one, but you know what? Whatever. This one is over the SH Figurarts Masked Rider Decade Violent Emotion. Yeah, it's really, really cool actually. I got this for Christmas 2012, but it didn't show up until like the beginning of April into March 2013. My buddy got me this. I got him a Gundam, and he got me this. And he was like, "I'm sorry, your gift's not here. It hasn't come in the mail yet." And I was like, "Ah, it's okay. You didn't even have to get me anything." But I like totally forgot about the gift. And then a few weeks ago, he hit me up and he was like, or 2 weeks ago, I don't know how many weeks ago. He was like, "Hey, your Christmas present's here." I was like, "Whoa, I totally forgot about that." And it was Masked Rider Decade Violent Emotion, because he knew that Decade and DN were my favorite riders, so yeah. Really cool. I'm really thankful, man. Just thanks a ton. But sometimes on these figures I like to show the box, so let's get into the box. Right, here it is. You know, you got Decade Violent Emotion on front. It's actually how he appeared in a Movie War 2010, which I didn't think was the best Kamen Rider movie, but whatever. You can see some of the accessories inside there. Masked Rider Decade Violent Emotion. You got that written on the side too. And here on the back, it shows him with a bunch of his accessories and etc. And then Masked Rider Decade on the side again. Stuff on the bottom, you know, and stuff on the top. So yeah, that's really it for the box. And then here is the figure itself. I mean, there's not too much different from him and the last Decade figure, except the head, because Violent Emotion had different eyes, and I think the little color of the nub right there is different as well. That's the only really different thing. And there's another Figurarts Decade that's a little more expensive than this one, but if you get this guy, who's cheaper, then you don't even need it, because he comes with interchangeable heads. He has the regular Decade head, which I'll show you soon. But he's really, really nice. Just a really, really nice figure. All kinds of articulation. Looking up and down. So it's like you can just move your head like any way you want. You get ab joints, waist joints. These shoulders are articulated so they don't hinder the articulation. There's just so much articulation on this guy. Like, I'm not going to even take the time to just show you all the individual points, because it would just take forever. I mean, you got like elbow, all kinds of crazy wrist articulation. I really dig wrist articulation. And there's really nice leg joints. Really nice. Got knee bends. Let's check out his cool feet. I mean, this guy is articulated. Toe articulation. He's crazy, crazy articulated. But yeah, that's articulation pretty much. So now, let me show you detail and paint. Now, detail and paint job on this guy, really exquisite. Looks just like Decade. I mean, really, really, really crazy. So it's that nice, kind of shiny black, kind of not shiny black. I love the way they did the eyes, all clear, very well detailed on the inside. They look very nice. Barcode face. I mean, it just looks spectacular. I actually have watched this whole series, and all but the Dino movie. It just seemed kind of unnecessary, and I didn't watch it. But yeah, this is a really, really cool figure. For a really, really cool rider. I mean, like, all this, it's not just painted on, it's coming out. Sculpted. I mean, look at that Deca driver. That is nice. So, yeah, now how about we get onto some of his accessories. As you can see here, he comes with many different types of hands. You have just open, relaxed hands, and these card-holding hands, even though he doesn't come with any cards to hold. The original Decade release did, like just regular Decade, but they were just like, you had to cut him out and stuff, and I hear that some people didn't like him. Well, lots of people didn't like him. I don't know. I haven't really seen him. But then, more hands up here. He's got the holding hands and a kind of a pointing hand. So, good bit of hands to change in and out with. Alright, another one of his accessories. I actually forget what he calls it in the show. But his little card case here that holds all his cards so he can use as attacks. It comes with that. It just clips right on the side of his belt there. Not a problem. Stays on crazy well. And it's really, really cool, actually. Now here he is with that card case turned sword. Really nice detail on the sword. Great paint job. Fits well into his hands. I love it. Also, I have to point out, the hands are the easiest interchangeable hands on any of my Figurarts. For real. Like, they interchange really easily. Like my Super Sentai and my Ultraman, Tamahashi Nations figures, I gotta work with them, and this guy just pop, just fine. But yeah, it looks really great with the sword, just absolutely spectacular. And here it is in gun mode. Looks really, really nice. I mean, the accessories for this guy are just superb. Really superb. And here's the extra head. As you can tell, it's not too terribly different. See, it's just more rounded on the eyes. And there's not like a big... There's something between the eyes on the other one. There's not really anything there, and this is kind of more gold color up top here. But yeah, that goes on and off pretty easily too. So he has really easily interchangeable parts. So here's Kamen Rider Decade Violent Emotion with some other, you know, Figurarts Tamahashi Nations Bandai figures. And an Ultrac. But I don't have them compared with any other Kamen Riders because this is my first Kamen Rider figure. I mean, Kamen Rider's a fairly recent thing for me, like beginning of my freshman semester of college. When I really started watching Kamen Rider movies and stuff. So I've only been in the Kamen Rider, like really into Kamen Rider for a year. So this is actually my first Kamen Rider figure. I didn't plan on it being my first Kamen Rider figure. It just ended up being my first Kamen Rider figure. But here he is compared with a character he's actually crossed over with multiple times. The Super Sentai Shinken Red figure from Figurarts. Yeah. And they scale up pretty well together. He actually has been with him, so I know how they scale height-wise from the 2 episodes of Decade they're in and then the movie. But then here he is with an Ultrac. Obviously they're not going to scale up. I just wanted to show you the difference between the Kamen Riders and the Ultracs. And the Ultracs are bigger and 6-inch, so they scale up well with like your vinyl monsters and stuff. But he scales up well with other Figurarts of his size. Okay, here's Decade with some American figures. Once again, I don't have any American Kamen Rider figures. There are some, actually, believe it or not. Lots of you people watching this actually collect Kamen Rider and probably already knew that, but... Yeah, here's with some Sabin's Power Rangers figures. This is a Triassic Ranger from Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Probably my favorite Power Ranger series. I love it. I have all of the episodes on DVD. And then Mystic Force, series I hated, but this is a pretty good figure, Red Ranger. And he scales up well with them too, so it's going to scale up well with your American Power Ranger figures as well. Which is pretty nice. Maybe not like some of the newer ones from Samurai and the Megaforce ones, because they're really just not scaled the same. And they came out with those 20th anniversary ones, but they're more 6-inch. They were like the size of the Mirror Knight that I showed you earlier. So I don't have any of those yet. I'll pick one up if I see it, but I don't have any yet. But he's going to scale up well with these Power Rangers figures from America as well. Alright everyone, that's really it for this review. I'm sorry that I didn't have more Kamen Riders to show you and the size comparisons, but you know what? I'll get more soon. More Heisei Riders probably. For Kamen Rider Night or whatever. For Yuki! But right now we're talking about Kamen Rider Decade, Violent Emotion, from SH Figurarts, Tamahashi Nations, and Bandai. And he's an excellent, excellent figure. I absolutely love him. I mean, I can't find a single thing wrong with him. He's brilliant. I think he has die-cast feet. I think. But he's got lots of interchangeable hands, and they interchange really easily. The interchangeable heads, so you don't have to buy the old Decade if you were like a big Decade guy like me. And sword, gun, all kinds of stuff. And separately, you can get the cards to do his final attack ride. And if you have Tamashi stages, then you can display him doing his final attack ride, which is really, really cool. And if you really want him to have cards, you can probably make your own. Really. You probably can. I'm sure it's not that hard. But I have to say, this Violent Emotion figure, aside being like the cheapest of the 3 Figurart Decade figures, he's also probably the best one to get. I mean, there's like his ultimate form or whatever when he has all the cards lined up, but that's over $100. And then there's the regular one, and why would you get that when you have this guy, who's cheaper? I mean, I've seen this guy going for like $30 recently, so actually a pretty good deal. This is an amazing figure, not a bad price at all, and I highly, highly recommend him. I mean, I have to give this Decade Violent Emotion figure 5 out of 5 stars. I do. He is absolutely spectacular, a great articulation, brilliant detail, wonderful effect parts, and he scales up well with other Figurarts that he's supposed to scale up with. Nothing wrong with him. Given me by one of my best friends, this figure is one that's always going to be in my collection. I absolutely love it. So, yeah, that's it for this review, you guys. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be getting a lot more import figures because I'm probably going to stop getting superhero figures and stuff unless they're imports. Just, you know, money saver, and import figures tend to be better than the American figures nowadays, so yeah, really cool. So expect more imported reviews, and if I have anything that you guys want me to review and you've seen it and I don't have a review on my channel, or you think it deserves a re-review, just ask me and I'll probably review it. If you want to know what I have, you can watch my entire collection video and stuff all on my second channel, which is in the link in the description below, and also the action figure collection updates that are coming up, and etc. And just a lot of cool stuff in the description below, actually. Links to Facebook, Twitter, where we'll follow you back, our last review, all kinds of excellent, excellent stuff. So yeah, that's it for this review, you guys, and I'll see you all later.